Alrighty, so got one today for you here by a subscriber of mine. He had sent it in to me last night. His name is Scotty. He's also one of my mods, so shout out to Scotty. Go to his channel, show him some love, give him a sub. But yeah, he's going to talk about why he's never been married and he never will. So this should be good.
Hello everybody, welcome to Scotty's Side. Thank you for joining me today. Today I'm going to talk about why at 40 years old I never have and never will be married. Now, I'm putting the stats aside for this video, okay? This is going to be all anecdotal, my own personal experiences and stories. And I think I've talked about them like live on stream or something like that. But I'm going to make like a video talking about this experience. And so I knew from a very young age, probably around 9 or 10, that I didn't want to get married, and also that I didn't want to have kids. And
Dang, dude. That is a young age to have that realization. If I had to guess, I'd say that his parents or some relatives of his, he just was exposed to bad marriages. That would be my guess.
that 30 years, that mindset has not changed one bit. Now, I'm not saying that marriage is impossible. I've seen some work out, obviously. I'm sure most of you have. And how I've seen them work is when the woman is essentially head over heels for a guy. That, like, this is the baddest motherfucker I can find and probably ever will find. Alpha widowing, if you want to call it that. Basically, she has to think you're the shit for your whole life. That's the only time I've seen it work. The only time I've ever seen it work is when she figuratively looks up, and I guess physically too, looks up to the guy.
Yeah, I've said that before too. I 100% agree. That is the case. I think that the only way that you can have a sustainable long-term relationship or marriage with a woman is if she's more into you than you're into her. That's just that. I think that is the only way that it really does work. He's spot on with that. Because if it's flipped, dude, if you're more into her than she's into you, that's not gonna work, man. She has to be upset. Well, not infatuated, obsessed, but you get it. She has to look up to you. You have to be the best option available. She has to view you that way, and you can fall out of favor. I mean, you can mess up, and then she can no longer feel that way. So yeah, you do have to maintain that. But yeah, if that imbalance isn't there, then it's just, I don't see it being sustainable. Yeah, it may last, but I don't think that it would be genuine. Honestly, I don't think that she would be head over heels for you. She wouldn't have that genuine burning desire. I don't think that would be the case. What sucks is there are a lot of men out there that they're just the man that they settled for. If she didn't land that guy that she's head over heels with, he didn't choose her and he moved on. She did not move on from that. Like he said, alpha widow, that is what happened. Is she's always going to think of that guy, compare that guy to all of the other men that she meets, and whoever ends up marrying her next or first after that guy, they're not going to be able to match up. They aren't. And it sucks that a lot of men are in that kind of relationship, but I couldn't agree more.
Anyway, even from that young age, people around me were getting divorced.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought if he's 9 and 10 coming to that realization, then he's got to maybe see friends' parents get divorced, relatives, just be around a lot of dysfunctional relationships, a lot of dysfunctional marriages growing up.
people that said they loved each other so much, and blah, blah, blah-de-dee, blah, blah. I'm sure a lot of you have heard that shit too. Maybe it's even been said to you by a previous girlfriend, wife, etc.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in relationships where I've been love bombed. Those didn't work out, obviously. If you're in one of those relationships, those have an expiration date for sure.
I had seen that, and I believe the first one I really saw personally was my uncle, and just how hard and fast he fell for a woman, and which was partially that's on him too. You know, you can't fall that head over heels that fast and the bitch is gonna think highly of you. It's just not gonna happen.
So I was just saying they will not think highly of you if you're falling for them quick and you're into them way more. It's just it turns women off, honestly. Women do not respond well to that.
You know, I knew she, even at that young age, from an instinctual gut thing, that you can't act like that. You can't be that. You gotta be the guy. You gotta be the man. So I saw that, I saw one of my other uncles, he got divorced. My aunt got divorced. And then one of my other uncles, he was widowed, so that's a totally different thing.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, he got married again like real fast, and it wasn't the same. That relationship wasn't the same because he just couldn't be alone, I guess. And look, I understand it's tough, especially if you're widowed. I mean, I should say I understand because I've never been in that situation.
Yeah, I haven't been in that situation either. I understand that, but there are certain people, I've known people that they're never not in a relationship. If one ends, then they're back in one again with someone else rather quickly. I've known women like that, and I've known men like that. It's really weird when men are like that. They somehow fall for some other girl, right? You see them fall apart over this relationship, and then not too long after they're completely into someone else, and things are different now. And yeah, I don't know. I've been in a few serious relationships, but the majority of my life has been spent just being single, and I've learned how to be alone with myself. I think for any man to really have a good head on his shoulders going into any relationship, going into friendships or a relationship with a woman, he has to be okay being alone and being with himself, and the process of individuation and integrating your shadow. I think that's very important. I think now, I mean, of course it would be ideal for our society to have more marriages and people getting married younger and having as many kids as possible and having a healthy society by having healthy families. But we're not there right now. And now people just don't grow up as quickly as they used to. They don't. So anyone that I saw getting married in their early 20s, they're divorced now. They're divorced. I've seen that they got cheated on by their wives, and then their wives decided to move to LA or move somewhere and be an actress and get all this attention online. They got all this attention that they didn't get at first. I had this friend. I lived with him and his wife. He was a musician, and she was just working at Starbucks. But she was into photography. She wanted to get into photography. He paid for everything. He paid for all of her nice equipment. And since he in bands and toured and had all of these connections, got her into the scene. So she ended up getting pretty good at photography, right? Spending a lot of time with musicians. That's a recipe for disaster. She got really good at photography. She ended up being able to quit her barista job at Starbucks, and she was filming and rubbing elbows and developing friendships with all of these very attractive male musicians in popular bands. I believe their marriage ended because she cheated on him with the drummer of a very popular band. I don't want to give out any identifiers or anything like that, but it was a very popular band. You all know them. But yeah, that's the thing, is he funded her. It was started off as a hobby, and one thing led to another, and then she cheated on him. He funded that. He facilitated that. He elevated her to a higher status in the world, and then she was able to connect with other people with a higher status and clout, and that's what happens, man. That chicks will do that to you. You gotta watch yourself. I don't think that he read any Carl Jung or did any individuation. He was in his late teens, or no, he was not late teens. He was in his late 20s. She was in her early 20s. I think there was maybe like 7 or 8 years difference, right? So yeah, she was 21, I think, when they got married. Total blonde bombshell, man. She was really hot too. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it was a naive move, man, allowing her to be around the guys that she was around doing. I think she might have done a lot of that stuff alone with doing a lot of her photography work. So, but I mean, I've seen it firsthand. I've seen dudes just, yeah, their marriages fell apart. And I didn't have the lens for it back then. I didn't see it the way I see it now. I thought it was unfortunate, but I couldn't break things apart and I didn't really understand women at that point. I was in my early 20s, early to mid 20s and stuff when that happened. I think I was like 23, 24. So I was still out making dumb mistakes too.
Yeah, that'd be really tough. But you can see that I was experiencing all this divorce around me from a very young age.
Yeah.
And so it made me really question everything and made me go, maybe this isn't such a good idea. And I also had friends where their parents were divorced and there was like a stepdad, a stepmom, whatever in the situation. I even had a few kids say to me, wow, your parents are still together? And I mean, this was back in like...
Dude, I had people do that too. Because I had a lot of friends, latchkey kids, their parents were divorced. They lived with their mom. I had a friend, I think his name was Landon. Yeah, he lived with his single mom. I never saw her. She was always at work. We would go hang out at his place. This latchkey kid. He would come home. She wouldn't be there because she was single. Dad wasn't around anymore. I don't know where he went. But yeah, I had a lot of friends that were in that situation.
Early 90s and shit like that this was going on.
And that was the 90s at that time.
So it's just all of this personal experience and what I'm seeing, literally what I'm seeing. Family members, friends of friends. You know, just hearing my parents and friends talk about it to each other. It was all over the place. And this was 30 years ago, man.
Yeah, he saw a pattern. He's like, man, it's not just my family, but it's my friends. It's my friends of my friends. And yeah, sure, it's anecdotal, but it shows a pattern.
You know, I can't imagine what it is now. It's
a broader pattern.
Worse if you look at the stats.
Yeah.
You know? And I know before all the femoids and tards come into my comment section saying that all of us MGTOW guys are all incels and everything like that. No. This kind of stuff that we all experienced in some form or fashion, it was just what I was seeing around me. A lot of guys have experienced first fucking hand and still feel it today. because their divorces fuck them up.
Yeah, it's not these incel dudes, because they were in relationships, man. They didn't have an issue finding a woman, right? They're not involuntarily celibate. They've had sex, all right? They're not these trolls in basements. I think that's where people really take that. That's where they conflate a lot of these dudes. I'm not MGTOW, but I understand why men would be. I mean, I guess I'm maybe MGTOW without the label, but I mean, I am open to a relationship, but like he said, and like I said, that it has to be where the woman is more into me than I'm into her. That's the only way that it's going to work out. That's the only way it'll work out for any guy.
Them over. You know, I don't think it's any wonder what's going on today, why no one's getting married. And this kind of thing, first-hand, second-hand experience, is what's causing this. It's not safe or wise for a guy to get married, even to the point of living with a girlfriend.
Yeah, especially if there's common law marriage laws in your state. You got to be mindful of that, by the way.
Because there's still a risk of some shit that she's going to pull and say that you were abusive and blah, blah, blah. I've seen that firsthand, too. Guys getting accused of shit, finding out later that it wasn't true.
Yep.
So.
Yep, false accusations, man. That will ruin a man's life. Even after he's found innocent, doesn't matter. It's over.
That's why I never will and never have. No way, pal, will I get married. So, let me know your experiences. I want to hear them in the comments. Anything about not being married and divorced, just having a girlfriend and having some kind of rough experience with that. I really want to hear about it. I want your take in the comments below, please. Like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. Really appreciate it. I love you all. Please take care of yourselves and each other. I'll talk to you next time.
All right, cool. Awesome. So yeah, let's go into the comment section here. Yeah, that's the thing. A lot of men that have these opinions that are MGTOW or just like myself, they're just very cautious about this. That talk about this openly on YouTube. We're not incels, right? We've been burned by a woman. We made mistakes, or we saw somebody make mistakes, and we wised up. But let's see here. So we got, it's better to be single and wish you were married than married and wish you were single. Dude, I've been in relationships, more than one, where I missed being alone. I missed being single. So, yeah. My uncle just turned 72, never married, never had offspring, never cohabitated. He is the happiest man I know. Marriage equals retirement plan for 304s. That's not untrue. Worst decision I ever made, getting married. Best decision I ever made, getting divorced. Happy life equals no wife. I have never in my 62 years have ever met a truly happier couple. Men are in love, women are in business. Yeah, that's another one of those lines that's not untrue. I'm 36, never been married, never had kids, never will. Women have cost me all of my adults' lifetime, life's time, energy, and resources for absolutely nothing in return. Being alone is so incredibly peaceful. It really is. It really is. It's the peace, man. It's the peace of just not having to deal with all of that drama. Because, yeah, you got a beautiful woman, you get some sex or whatever. Eventually, it doesn't really matter anymore, because if she is combative and takes away your peace by whatever means she does it by, women are very creative in how they could take away your peace. Yeah, you wish you were alone. You wish you were freaking alone. But that's pretty much it, man. So go and go check him out, Scotty's side. I'll leave the link down below. So go show him some love, give him a sub, help him grow his channel. And yeah, I'll just leave it there. But, whoo, yeah. Being single's pretty all right, gotta say.